Okay, we're gonna go back into the Mishnah Berurah from where we left off last time. Last time we left off with a Piskay Teshuvos. Stolen update. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. And I looked up a few things. So this is stolen update. Okay, so finally got this thing worked. Okay, so I wanted to say one point about a white tablecloth. Okay. He brought that there's a custom to wear a white tablecloth right over here. No, hugging in the highlight section to have a white tablecloth. Okay. Footnote 3. This is from the Droshos, the Mahari Evan Shuiv, who's a Talmud of the Rashba. Okay. We're going to see where he gets this idea from. This especially applies. It seems like this is a reason, according to those who are careful, to have a tablecloth on their table the entire week. So therefore, on Shabbos we have white because it's nikar, it's different, just like the Shabbos clothing. Okay. The question that I have on this, and I'm opening the floor for anyone to answer, of course, is why white though? According to that idea, why do you need specifically white? You just need something different. So during the week, you have a cheaper type of tablecloth, and on Shabbos you have something nicer, right? Similar to Shabbos clothing, let's say. You do it different. You have something that's designated for Shabbos. Why white? So at the end of this footnote, he says, look at the child's Juvas Marashag. I actually had difficulty finding this. It took me close to half an hour, and I asked someone else also to help me who's very good at finding stuff to help me find this. The reason why it was so difficult to find is because I thought that it was a misprint, that it was the wrong tshuva. It's in right over here, Simon Pei Beis. Okay. It's right, like he quotes, Chelik Beis, Simon Pei Beis. I looked it up, went to the Simon, we're in Chelik Beis over here. And I thought it was wrong Simon, because look at what the Simon talks about. Talking about going on a lift on Shabbos. If you live high up and it's difficult to go, like an elevator, electric. Holiday Zerum electric. So it's like, what on earth? It's talking about an elevator. This has nothing to do with the sugi that we're discussing, and it's like a long tshuva. So I didn't know what was going on. So it's in these like parentheses in the middle of this tshuva over here, where he talks about this shiloh of a white tablecloth.
How did that get in there?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's coming up as a tangent, right? So over here he's saying, "V'chein habagadim shulovish b'Shabbos v'Yom Tov yetoivim v'yafin v'malbushav shulovish b'chol." The clothing that we wear on Shabbos has to be better than the clothing that we wear during the week. Because the chain near a parish targum unclus. Shapirish, okay, he learns it from an uncle's. And then this is where he talks about the white tablecloth. He's talking a little about clothing. Lefi daisi, and it's in parentheses in the smack in the middle of this long tshuva that has nothing to do with this topic. Lefi daisi, oisan anashim sheishlam b'kol yom, mapa prusa al shulchanim. Those people who use the tablecloth the entire week spread on their table, which we're going to see there's an idea behind that as well. Shava b'chol k'ma b'Shabbos. There's no difference that you're doing on Shabbos. V'chein hamatzos prusos al mitasim im him shav b'Shabbos k'ma b'chol. Ovrim al aseizo lefi das Ramban. You're violating an asay according to the Ramban. Shemaimer Chazal Shenir Shapir. Okay, so in other words, based on this, they say that this is why maybe you have white. Up until this point, okay. Up until this point in our learning, we don't have a good reason as to why specifically white. We know that white makes it different than during the week, but maybe you don't need to come onto white. Or maybe there's some symbolism with white to have specifically white. But it's definitely something else to look into as of now. Okay? So that's the story with the white. Okay? Wanted to share that. That was some research that I did Benogeya to this topic that pertains to this topic. All right. Let's continue from where we left off last time. An Ozdal. Yishtadu shelo b'gadim. versus strive to have clothing. There's 2 ways to go about this halacha: what the actual halacha is and what the mekubalim do. Right? He quotes the footnote 27, the Bear Halacha, who quoted the Panim Meiros, who was talking about someone who's only wearing white. Okay. B'Sefer Ruach Chaim shekidei linhoi kedivri Arizal shik b'mora al bigdei lavin sarich sheyeh shalom b'shleimus u'b'kavanos b'tfilos. If a person wants to wear completely white on the outside, we're talking about. I'm not talking about an undershirt over here. I'm not talking about a white shirt like this over here. Talking about totally white. White suit, exactly. Tunic, whatever it's called.
We touched on that.
Yeah. So he said you could do it, but you have to be completely whole, right, with your kavanas, and you have to be a very pious person and Kabbalah and all that, right? So then he brings over here, very interesting. I've seen this maybe once in my life. Those people have the custom to wear a talus on Shabbos night. You heard me, Shabbos night, Friday night, during Kabbalah Shabbos. The reason is to fulfill this idea of wearing totally white. So this is where it comes from a white talus. I've seen this once in my life.
Is that mutaf b'liban or mutaf b'lavan?
Oh, sorry. The kevan she'abeged hashachar mu'utaf b'lavan nami shabridami. Right. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah. Since their black clothing is covered with the white talus, is wrapped with it, so then it's fine. I've seen this once in my life. Friday night. I saw it once in my life. Some Hasidish.
He's not just talking about the shots. He's talking about everybody.
No, not the chazan.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Chazan for sure.
What was this? I don't understand. What was it?
Guy was wearing a talus Shabbos night. It's based on the sugya that we're learning.
Oh, just so. No, all right, fine. All right.
So you don't see that often.
Shouldn't get to white.
No.
Well, I mean, I think that the answer to white clothing might be the same as
Pure. Clean.
might be the same as what's it called? As the white tablecloth. Here. I'm just pulling
the white tablecloth because it's different than during the week.
More than different though, obviously, because it has to be, because that's why they're talking white clothing. What did the Be'er Halacha say? What did the Be'er Halacha over here? Be'er Halacha said, Levishas beg they love Shabbos. No, he was saying, is it Yehura? He wasn't saying. Seems like there was an Indian to wear it though. I don't know. Okay.
And Yeshiva can wear white during the week. Even a guy who works in a law, wears a suit all week with a white shirt.
Right. So you have a special Shabbos.
Special white, nice.
We know there's different qualities of suits. You could get a suit for under $100. You could get a suit for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Right? Not saying that you should be spending that much.
But it should be a better quality. But
Yeah.
I guess the shirt also technically could be, a better quality.
Yeah. That's right. I have separate white shirts just for Shabbos.
So I have separate shirts also. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Misara din. Sarko Adam Shelo Begodim El Yoinim Shemiskabi Behem Dahainu Koiva V'Khalifa Yuchad Shabbos. This is where it comes from. Saying right now, special Shabbos hat, Shabbos suit. Dahainu Shia Shiyu Noim Yoisim Oisim Shalom Moshgal. Nicer than during the week. V'yen Nakiyim Umikubatzim. They should be clean. But since they're designated for Shabbos and Yontif, Eino Chayiv Lekabsam. Oh, it seems like we already did this last time. Okay. Now we're actually doing it, not rushing through it, so it's good. So since they're designated for Shabbos and Yontif, you are not obligated to launder them every single day unless when you need to. All right? That's a whole discussion of itself. Other clothing, Mikra Hadin, you need special for Shabbos, such as undergarments. And then as we saw, your shoes, you should shine. This Erev Shabbos, I shine my shoes. First time in a while, we're learning that. And I'm telling you, it changed the whole Shabbos. Just from shining the shoes. I'm telling you, I just felt better about myself. Oh, wow, the shoes look nicer. Special. But anyways, Mitzada Minog Hatoivim Mikubalim. What about the custom for the Mikubalim? Nahagu Gedoili Hadoiros, the Achreim Rabim, Mehamoini Beis Yisrael Shalola Halbish B'Shabbos and Kol Mashal Bish B'Chol V'Lechein Makpidin Shkol Oisim Begadim Sheina Moivim Kibbutz B'Chol Shavua V'Shavua Yem Yuchadim L'Shabbos V'Hainu Shazua Sakoy V'Chlich L'Cham Talos Chotim Talos Godel V'Kibbutz V'Chuvrim B'Zayim V'Suda Ben Alayim Yuchadim L'Shabbos Aval Begadim L'Tachton Mishot Kibbutz B'Chol Shavua V'Shavua Kibbutzon L'Kavat Shabbos Zehu Yichudon. So if it's an undergarment, if it's just clean, that's fine. Other clothing, you should have special Shabbos. The Gemara mentioned Baruch HaMishum Beis Lavados Archlich Shabbos Lo Yish B'Lo Chaluch. Shachar Shalovish V'Yamos Archol Liyam Yuchud L'Shabbos Kinam Amushim L'Kavret Ram Keep L'Kam L'Chem L'Kan Rashim Beis L'Chaim L'Zul L'Mevnei El Bach L'Dei L'Dei Shabbos L'Im Kavasma. Even in your house, if you're by yourself, you wear nice Shabbos clothing. The women, before they light, they should put on their Shabbos clothing. The times they know hugging your Hashem. Shemishtadlim B'Shabbos. B'yoyzel lechas talmud yabushi yalon. V'afilu b'bayis v'kol shokein be'yizu l'Shabbos v'amiros. Al pi azoyer v'harizal hu yisrael na'alek yoshim b'shechol nishal melech v'neim musudasa. Wear nice clothing. There's an idea for Shabbos, and especially during the Suda as well. A lot of times you see people, they're taking off their jacket, like right after Hamotzi or right after Kiddush, right? There's an idea from Mikubalim, Zoyer on the Arizal, to have your hat on and your jacket for even the Zmiros.
Wow.
Yeah, there's definitely an Indian about that. We learned about that many years ago when we learned Hilchos Tefillah, Siman Sadi Aleph, the halachas of what to wear when you daven. That came up over there also. Fine. Same idea, the Avel also changes it as well. Okay, let's see if he has any Chidushim in the footnotes over here. 29, Rab Po'alim, based in the Yerushalmi. You don't need to change your shoes, you already saw that. Okay, and he brings other sources over here if you want to look into it more yourself about shoes, polishing shoes. This would be interesting. Sitz Eliezer, I'm always a fan of what the Sitz Eliezer says. Yechavada, Sitz Ravadja, Sod Rishurin, that would probably be shorter. Shaga Meir. I wonder what they say. He doesn't say what they say. Maybe we'll see it quoted by Rav Hartmanus. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe I'll look it up. Probably not, though. I don't know. I'm sure it's more interesting. Okay, footnote 30. The Mori Etzba, the Chidah, Ashrim Mishi Shal Begadim Yuchadim Akaf Regel, Baruch Michad Shabbos, we saw this by the Vilna Gaon as well. Chidah is saying, praiseworthy is someone who has all Shabbos clothing from toe to head. He wants to explain that the Chidah didn't mean your undergarments. Right? You don't need special undergarments for Shabbos, technically speaking. And right, so it's also mentioned from the Chidah. He says even your belt, your shoes, mitznefes.
Which says sandalim.
Yeah, those are sandals. Yeah, that's what they would do.
Or in the Middle Eastern countries, I guess they wore sandals and Shabbos.
I think he's going to explain about that. Mashma dafka. It's implied specifically those that don't need to be laundered. Oh, and then he says Evelnagon. Yeah, could be. Anyways, so that's the idea over here. Shabbos towels. Okay, this is an important point, excellent point. Footnote 31. Footnote 31, he mentioned over here, you have a special talus katan, talus gadol, which means what people call sitzis, and then the talus. You have both. So if you're going to change your talus katan, which is a nice idea, you need to say new bracha. You need to say new bracha. So make sure it's the proper size. Ach, shaloy shal miyad. Ach, shaloy shal miyad. Achar pashu talus katan shachol. Achim yavigu aboiker yachol. Right. If you didn't daven shachar sit, and then you're putting already on your special sitzis for Shabbos in the morning, so then it would be covered with the bracha that you're going to make on your talus, just like regularly. But why would you be putting it on so early? So that really wouldn't happen.
So, I mean, practically, you're going to put it on after you shower.
Correct, and then you would need a new bracha, and you have to. I'm going to add some knowledge that I have from Hilchos Sitzis. Make sure it's the proper size. We learned about that in Hilchos Sitzis, what the size is, because it's a whole discussion making brachas on those.
24 by 24, 18 by 18.
Yeah. So make sure it's kosher, everything's good, and that's the Indian. Okay, fine. So Amin Hashem, tomorrow we will pick it up from here tomorrow, and we're getting much closer to the end of this. Yeah, new something new every day. Right, everyone should have a wonderful day.
Great.